Hi, everyone. Welcome to today's Lean Publishing tip of the day, where I'm going to be talking about self-publishing a self-funding book. Please skip ahead to the 2-minute mark of the video if you're watching the recording, or if you're, joining. Just you can kind of just sort of wait around for that timestamp. This is actually the second go at this today that we're doing this live stream. We had some technical difficulties earlier. I'm still playing around with settings and stuff like that and getting used to it. So, although I've done hundreds of full feature length podcast videos and stuff like that, I'm still getting a little bit used to these live streams. So there's going to be the odd thing like that happening. As always, there's an accompanying blog post with this tip of the day that you can find on our blog at leanpub.com/blog. If you don't see the article there, please just click the magnifying glass, search for the keywords, and you'll find the article. These articles are useful because they typically have helpful links and stuff like that. And there really are people who, like to have a kind of stable, static thing to interact with when they're learning stuff, as opposed to, after watching a video and that kind of thing. If you like these lean publishing tips of the day, please follow us on social media, wherever you find us. And definitely please subscribe to our YouTube channel. On our YouTube channel, in addition to these live streams, there's about 80 of them, these tips of the day or so. You'll also find new release videos. You'll find book launch videos. You'll find podcast videos and a few other things as well, including shorts that some people seem to really like. And our success with those is unpredictable so far, but we do produce those, and people like them sometimes. Yeah, and if you have any suggestions yourself for something you'd like me to cover on a lean publishing tip of the day, if you're a Leanpub author or someone who's interested in self-publishing a book and you've got some questions and something you'd like me to answer, you can reach out to us at hello@leanpub.com, or you can reach out on social media, and don't hold back or be shy or anything like that. We love to hear from people, and I love to talk to people. So here we are, approaching 2 minutes. 3, 2, 1. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the 2-minute mark of today's Lean Publishing tip of the day, when we're past all the housekeeping. Today, I'm going to be talking about how to self-publish a self-funding book. So one thing I wanted to explain is that on Leanpub, we pay a relatively high royalty rate. So on if you sell a $20 book on Leanpub, then you get 80% royalties, which is $16. So that's a fair amount of money to make from a single book sale. Talk to any accomplished kind of book author, and they'll be probably kind of surprised by that level. So what you're going to be doing from your book is you're going to be earning money. The question about self-funding is what you're going to do with that money later. So Leanpub is free to use. We have free modes and stuff like that. We also have paid modes for author memberships, which I highly recommend if you're going to be spending all the time and putting all your hopes and dreams into writing books that might change your life or change your career or change someone else's lives or career. I definitely recommend getting one of our author memberships. Especially, the best deal is a lifetime membership. But yeah, you're going to be earning this money. And when you earn money from a Leanpub sale, it sort of goes into a kind of bucket where it's held for 60 days. This also happens on Amazon KDP for the exact same reason Leanpub does it, which is we have a 60-day refund window. So anybody can get a refund within 60 days of a purchase. We believe that this actually dramatically increases sales, that you shouldn't view a refund as a loss. Our refund rate is very low to begin with, but also refunds mean people can buy things without being concerned that they're not going to be able to get their money back if they don't like it, or they bought the wrong thing by accident, which does happen sometimes, or the description didn't match what they're seeing in the book. Leanpub also is a self-publishing platform, and that means that it's a little bit more random than ordinary publishing. Ordinarily published, conventionally published books. And Leanpub books are often published in progress. So someone might buy your book that's 10% done, and a month later they might be like, oh, this person hasn't published a new chapter. I'm just going to get a refund and come back when I see that more progress has been made on the book. So you're going to be getting this money. You earn money from a sale. It goes into this bucket for 60 days. When those 60 days have elapsed, the money is then released and available to be paid at the next royalty payment date, which is typically the 7th of the month. So we pay royalties every month around the 7th. So basically, a purchase is made, royalties are set aside for you from that purchase. They're unlocked 60 days later, and then they're paid at the next royalty payment period. Now, one very cool thing that we've allowed you to do for a very long time on Leanpub is we've got a really awesome feature. I think it's a really awesome feature that lets you use royalties in that period between when they become unlocked, basically, and then paid to you. We call these usable unpaid royalties. So when you have usable unpaid royalties again, in between that after that 60-day window has elapsed and then before the next payment. So anywhere from 1 to 30 days, basically. During that period of time, you can use these unpaid royalties to actually buy things on Leanpub, including now books by other authors, which I think is just an amazing feature that you can use royalties you earn from your book to buy other books and feed your reading habit or support your fellow Leanpub authors and stuff like that. That's just a really cool feature that you can use money from your book sales to buy other people's books that you want to read. But and here's where the self-funding book part comes in. You can actually use your royalties to buy marketing packages and ads on Leanpub. These increase your sales. And you can also use these royalties to buy Leanpub services like our Translate AI service. Um, so I'm going to show you a little bit more about that in detail. But before I go on, I want to explain the reason I'm talking about this today is that if you were thinking about what I was saying, you might have realized that like, well, actually my window to use these royalties is only a month at most. So I'd actually have to be making quite a bit of money every month already to be able to pay for these services that I'm going to want to use to increase my royalties because every month it kind of gets cleared out. The usable unpaid royalties get cleared. So what we've done is we've basically found a way for you to like save money save up your unpaid royalties on Leanpub, so you can use them to self fund your book, to buy ads for your book, to buy translations of your book, and stuff like that. We're calling that feature currently Layaway. So if you go to your payment settings page for your book, you can choose, you do need to choose a payment method. You need to choose Wise, PayPal, and now Layaway. Uh, Wise is what we recommend. PayPal is kind of a legacy thing, but there are lots of people who prefer it. Layaway then it will be used for a couple of reasons. One, it will be people who haven't set up a Wise or PayPal account yet. Two, it'll be people who can't get a Wise or PayPal account because of the country they're in or whatever their circumstances are. And three, it might be people who think they're having a problem with their payment somehow and they just want to pause all that. So when you put your royalties in Layaway, they just build up. They don't get paid out to you until you want them to be paid out, and then you take them off Layaway, and then they're paid at the next payment period. So you're in total control. But if you put your royalties on Layaway and click Update Royalty Settings, that means that your royalties keep increasing. You can go to your All Royalties page here to see a summary. This is just a demo book, so don't worry about the really low number. Yours will hopefully be higher relatively soon after publishing a Leanpub book. No guarantees for all that and stuff. But you'll see down here, there's a little section that's sort of making it clear that you can actually use unpaid royalties to pay for ads on what we call the shelf, which is our homepage advertising kind of feature. When you do this, you also get sponsored spots in our weekly and monthly sale newsletters, which is a really great way to get your book in front of people and to increase your sales and make money. These currently cost $129 for a weekly shelf spot and weekly sales spot, and $179 for a monthly one. The monthly one is a better deal, but it's a little bit more expensive. But yeah, you'll reach more people that way, hopefully. So you can use your unpaid royalties. So basically what that means is if your book earns $180 in royalties, you can then buy ads. Hopefully buying that $180 worth of ads will get you $200 in sales. So you've actually used the royalties. You're actually now generating a profit from your book's own sales when you're buying ads. You can also, and I think this is in a way kind of like one of the coolest and maybe the easiest ways to understand what I'm trying to say about a self-funding book is like, imagine you write your book in English. I'm speaking in English. That's why I use that as an example. Leanpub authors write in many different languages, and we support many different languages. But let's say you write your book in English and you put it on Layaway. Your royalties build up until you've got $80 in usable, $79 in usable unpaid royalties. You can then use those. You can just click a button, and again, you haven't spent a dime directly of your own money from your bank account or whatever, or your wallet. Like you've used your unpaid royalties to do it. And then you can use that to just click a button and get your book in a translation, say into German. Now you've got two books earning money, one in English, one in German. When that gets up to $79 again, the sales from both of those books, the royalties from both of those books, you can then click a button and get a version in French. And then when those three books that you're now earning money from earn another $79, you get the picture. And so if you've got a number of books going, you can buy ads for a number of books using the unpaid royalties. You can cross subsidize your book advertising purchases this way if you've got multiple books published on Leanpub. So this is the way, by using your unpaid royalties to get translations, to get Leanpub services, turn your nonfiction book into a course, for example, get marketing packages, stuff like that. You can actually use, so you haven't sort of like spent your own money in a sense. You know, it's money that came from the sales that you've done on Leanpub that you're using for these funding purposes. So let me just go back to the blog post here. So this is the blog post where we talk about this, and we'll have some more links and stuff like that, hopefully eventually. But yeah, that's my little spiel about how to self-publish a self-funding book on Leanpub, how you can use the earnings from your sales to actually hopefully increase the rate of your sales and the amount of your sales. If you joined late, if you want to learn about the very cool idea of self-publishing a book that funds its own advertising and its own translations, you'll find the recording of this video on YouTube, on our YouTube channel at Leanpub. Please like and subscribe and all of that. There will also be a link to the video at the top of the blog post and elsewhere that you'll be able to find it. So thank you very much for everyone for watching the live stream today, and I hope you enjoyed the recording, which is where most people are going to find this.